So now on to the top 10%. So this is a good time to turn it over to Jen here. So I'm going to stop sharing because she has a slideshow for us. And
okay.
I do believe I have to make you a host. Okay. So now you should be able to share your screen.
Sorry, guys. Okay. Where's present? Oh, there we go. All right. Can everybody see this? Ah, it didn't go to the very beginning. There we go. All right. So we have our top 10%. This is the 10% of the class of 2020. Usually we honor these amazing people, as you know, with breakfast with their families, and we weren't able to do that this year. We do have a couple of our scholarship recipients are here with us today, and a few of those are part of the top 10% as well. So we can hear from them in just a minute. So I'll go through Hannah Best, Jocelyn Bliven, Alyssa Camilli, she's joining us this morning. Raven Cziglenyi, Caledonia Davey, and we've got Cece here with us this morning, Cecelia Eggleston, and Alonna Freeborne. Tegan Goodman, this is Robert Goodman's daughter, and Elizabeth Heidrick, Leo Janzen, Erin Lamphear, Zuzu Longstreth, and Michaela Macdonald. And I think we have Kate here this morning, Katherine Oberlander. So Kate is here. Her dad is in the Noon Club. Madeline Pierce. And, oop, that's not Zoe Reiss. They messed up the picture there. That is not Zoe, but we do have a Zoe. Zoe Reiss is, this is not that Zoe though. It's all right. Alexis Renelle, Levi Robbins, Sydni Sobota, and Paloma Tejeda, and Jason Tuermer-Lee was our valedictorian. And then I have a few pictures of graduation that I included on this, so you can see that we tried to make this as special as we could for these kids who are not getting their conventional high school graduation. So Dave Navarre our principal did an amazing job really trying to make them feel special. So when they pulled up for graduation that day, there was a 16x20 picture of every student hanging from the front of the school. You can see all of their little faces there. A lot of them are their yearbook photos. And teachers lined the streets. We have our mascot out there, so teachers were able to wave goodbye. And there's Kate. She's with us this morning. And Avery Henry and her family. So kids came in a variety of different vehicles. Really special. There's Jason, our valedictorian. And Garrett. And there's Cece right there. She's with us this morning. Another picture of their little faces. So very, very special, safe graduation. Definitely not conventional, but special nonetheless. All right, I'm going to stop sharing, AJ.
Greg Foster is not with us, but if he was, he would have yelled "Go Ags" numerous times.
Yeah, well, Bryan, I think Bryan would do that as well, right, Bryan? A lot of kids going to UC Davis, so amazing. I mean, if you look at their GPAs, we say this every single year, but again, it's another absolutely incredible class going to amazing places, majoring in amazing things, and I mean, could not be prouder of this group of students. So pretty incredible, and we have a few of these amazing students with us here today.
My mouth was moving, but I forgot to hit the mute button. So go Ags. And this is truly an amazing group of kids. And I've been on this committee now, going on a decade. And it is honestly one of the best experiences you can have. I encourage everybody to get involved and join us as we get the chance to talk to these kids one-on-one. It's such an amazing experience, and it gives you a lot of hope about the future to really meet and learn about the amazing things that these kids have accomplished already, in many cases through some pretty serious hardships, and still managed to accomplish a huge amount. And the dreams and hopes and the selflessness and really optimistic outlook these kids have. And it's an amazing experience. The hardest thing is, we interviewed 12 amazing kids, and we were able to give out 9 scholarships, but really that still wasn't enough. I mean, there is not a kid we interviewed who was not deserving of some sort of award and recognition. And I'm really thankful that we have a couple here, so you can get to hear firsthand what we get to hear during these scholarship interviews, because it is a great experience. Did you have anything to add, Jen?
No, just again, a big thank you to Bryan and Jeff and everybody else who made this happen. Since our normal fundraiser, we weren't able to meet our goal originally, and Bryan, and thanks to Bryan and the rest of the people that donated and networked to be able to cover these scholarships to make that happen this year and not have to cancel it for these amazing kids. I am so grateful. I know that these students are so grateful, and I could not be prouder of this Rotary Club for making this happen for these amazing students. So thank you everybody who contributed to making this happen for them. And I would. Is it an appropriate time to hear from just a couple of them and just to see where they're off to next year and maybe what they're planning on doing?
Yeah, thanks, Jen. It really was I'm humbled by the generosity of this club and what we were able to do on a short notice. As we talked about, this is a class that's gone through a lot. And then to not only lose your senior year, potentially lose your freshman year in college, and then lose opportunity to win some of these scholarships. I mean, we came together and did an amazing thing. I'm going to go ahead and announce our scholarship winners. Again, some of them are here, and when I get to their names, I'm just going to ask each of you just to say a little bit about what your plans are, and maybe a little bit about how this scholarship is going to impact your future, and hopefully encourage us to press on with this great project. So we gave out 3 levels of scholarships. We gave out 4 $500 scholarships, 3 $1,000 scholarships, and 1 $1,500 per year 4-year reoccurring scholarship. Again, it's an incredibly difficult decision. If we could have given everybody $1,500 for 4 years, we definitely would have done it. Our first $500 winner was Merek Sears. Merek impressed us. Even though he lives in Ferndale, he decided that Arcata High was the best high school, which we all know, and commuted from Ferndale to Arcata High every single day. And not only did he do that, but he had to work in order to pay for the gas for his commute. And just his organization and his drive. Merek is also one of our star baseball pitchers at Arcata High. Hannah Best really impressed us with her passion for service. She talked about how service was a joy and fun. And although she didn't necessarily think it was an obligation to serve, she really believed you get so much more out of service than you put into it, and that it's something everybody should do. And we awarded her $500. Emma Fechner, she was really impressed us with her introspection and her thoughtfulness in the way she answered the questions. You could just tell there was a lot of depth going on there in the way she thought about some of the very complex topics we discussed. By the way, when we're evaluating these scholarships, we're not just, awarding it based on GPA or scores, although many of these kids have phenomenally impressive scholastic results. We talk about the ideals of Rotary, about leadership and ethics and community service and problem solving and organization. And through this process, trying to look at the kids, not just in terms of what their accomplishments, but what they're going to do in the future in terms of their commitment and how they're going to pay the scholarship back to the community through Rotary and other organizations. So I want to introduce Asher Meadows right now. Asher was one of our $500 scholarship winners. He really impressed us with his vision and clarity of what he wants to do with his life, but also his practicality. So Asher, are you out there?
Yes, I'm right here, Bryan.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
So what you going to be up to?
Next year, I'm just going to stay here due to COVID-19 and go to College of the Redwoods and play baseball there for at least the first year and just see how all this stuff blows over the next few years.
And tell us a little bit about your plans for the future.
The future, next year, I plan to start majoring in business and music, and my ultimate goal is to either become an audio engineer or just work with either finance or economics or something like that.
Kind of two ends of the spectrum there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Very different.
So tell us a little bit about your music passion.
I've always just had a big thing for music ever since I was born. I can play the piano, and I can also record people and mix and master and stuff on various plugins and different softwares. Yeah,
Nice.
it's just something I've always been into doing.
So after Asher shared with us that he wanted to combine his love of business and music, and maybe run a studio, a recording studio, or manage a label or something in the future. So congratulations, Asher, on the $500 scholarship.
All right, thank you very much.
Our first $1,000 winner was Alyssa Camilli. Again, Alyssa really impressed us with her vision for her future and her organization, and just a bright, shining personality. You walk away from some of these interviews just infected with optimism, and Alyssa was one of those people that really just was a bright, shining individual and really shone through those interviews. Our next $1,000 scholarship winner is Kate
Bryan, Alyssa's here.
Oberlander.
Wait,
Oh, Alyssa, hey.
Alyssa's here.
Hey, Alyssa, do you want to tell us a little bit about what your plans are?
Yeah, sure. Hi, thank you for recognizing us students. Next year, I'll be attending University of California, Davis as Thank you. As a university honors program student, and I'm currently in an undeclared program with the College of Letters and Sciences, but I'm looking to explore psychology. I'm really passionate about helping people, and also really interested in just understanding how we all develop and think. And yeah, hopefully might do a study abroad program next year. Well, not next year, at some point in my education. So yeah.
So I know one of the things that really impressed us was your passion for helping others. Tell us a little bit more about where that comes from.
Really, over the course of high school, I tried to come in with a really open mind and expose myself to all different communities of people. And I didn't settle into a group right away. I tried out a lot of different clubs and different classes. And over the course of exploring those really broad interests, I ended up just picking up opportunities here and there for volunteering at different events and, becoming a part of different groups of people. And yeah, I think really through that, I discovered my love for helping people. Just honestly how amazing and rewarding it was every time I volunteered for something, or, took a step out of my comfort zone and put a piece of art out there, or yeah, I would say that definitely Arcata High aided me in that process.
You're going to make a great Rotarian someday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So it's not very often that you get to meet a rocket scientist, but today you're going to get a chance to talk to a future rocket scientist. Kate Oberlander has big dreams of working for NASA. She's headed off to UCLA, and just that clear vision and focus and passion, and was very infectious. Also, what did you score on the SAT? 1550?
Yeah, and thank you so much for this
You
opportunity.
missed one question, I think.
Yeah, one math question and a couple English.
Oh gosh, that's amazing. So tell us a little bit about rocket science and how you ended up in that direction.
My interest in space really started, like, I've always been interested in science and space, but in middle school, in 8th grade, I was like, I had a really awesome science teacher, and I started learning more about space, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is totally for me. And from then on, I was like, I want to work at NASA. And as I progressed in my high school career, I figured out what kinds of space exploration I like the robotics side of it and how it can help us on Earth. And I was like, I'm going to use this to help our community and our world because this is amazing.
I like the Star Trek pen you have. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
So what are you most excited about UCLA?
I really like their connection with JPL, and I'm hoping to find the opportunity to help with research with that. They're connected up with JPL with that the GIFRIS program, and they study the environmental changes using optics, and I'm also super interested in optics in space exploration. So that would be super cool. And also just the whole environment of UCLA looks amazing. So yeah.
Excited to move down to the city?
Right.
Yeah. Get out of Humboldt County. Well, congratulations. I can't wait to read about you in the future with some amazing discovery. That's going to save you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Our next $1,000 recipient is Skaidra Pulley. You know, Skaidra really impressed. We get to talk to a lot of kids, but she was very uniquely mature and very thoughtful. And, you know, it's interesting because, again, we talk about a lot of diverse, ideas from ethics and problem solving, and to have a conversation that was so amazingly thoughtful. Sky was super impressive to us. And Sky, you're not here. No?
I'm here.
Oh, hey, Sky. How are you?
Hi. Thanks
There's
for
too many people
having
that can't
me.
tell who's here. So tell us a little bit about your plans.
Yeah. So next year I'm moving down to San Diego. Campus is open, and I'm going to be attending San Diego State and majoring in international security and conflict resolution.
I gotta say, that's probably the first person that's not a major we normally hear. Tell us a little bit about where that passion comes from.
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to do something in international relations. I've known that since I was in middle school. But I found out about international security last year, I believe, and I got super interested in it because I went to school in Germany for 3 weeks, and I had a bunch of friends who were from a lot of different countries, and the way they talked about diplomacy is very different of the way I think of it. So I really wanted to get involved in that, and this program is super unique, and it seemed like a really cool pathway to be able to work in what I'm passionate about.
Nice. And of course, that fits so well in with the values of Rotary and our global peace initiatives. And I hope you'll keep Rotary in mind as you progress and take advantage of some of the programs we have to expand and help promote global peace and security. So it's been a real pleasure getting to know you, Sky.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
And finally, our $1,500 four-year reoccurring scholarship went to Cecelia Eggleston. Like all of these kids that you've had a chance to meet today, Cecelia is super impressive in terms of what she's accomplished through school. The thing that really set Cecelia apart was that not only was she successful and has this clear vision about where she wants to go and really exemplifies the value of Rotaries, but she also did it through some very serious challenges in her life and had to do this independently and really that setup, really set her apart, and is the reason we selected her for the 1,500 reoccurring scholarship. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to Cecelia Eggleston. So tell us a little bit about where you're headed, Cecelia.
Hi there, thank you so much. I will be going to UCLA next year to major in biology, and I'm hoping to be on the pre-med track or pre-vet track. And yeah, campus is open for me as well, so I will be moving down there, which I'm very excited for.
So tell us what excites you about biology and medicine.
I've always been really passionate about the life sciences. I think it works really well with the way that I think, and I think it's a really good way for me to get, involved in my community and support my community through medicine. And it's just always something that's excited me and that I've been passionate about.
So what's the biggest thing that you learned growing up in Arcata that makes you special?
In Arcata, I guess I would just say, don't be afraid to reach out to your community and reach out to support systems, and that we do have a really close-knit community up here, and there is a lot of support available if you ask for it.
So just to kind of, as we wrap this up, as we think about these scholarships in the future, can you tell us a little bit about how this scholarship is going to help you and the impact it's going to have on where you're headed?
I mean, I think it's definitely going to help me focus on school more, because it does lift, the financial strain. And I think it will definitely allow me to put a lot more focus into getting research opportunities and just succeeding in my classes. And
so what are you most excited about getting it down to the big city in UCLA?
I think I'm most excited to be around people that I share a goal with, around people who are just as focused on academics and everything as I am. And yeah, I also, right now I work as a vet assistant, and I would really like to try to work at a bigger animal hospital in the city. I think that would be really exciting to me as well.
Nice. Well, all of our best wishes for amazing success, and can't wait to hear how you do into the future. And because you are a four-year recipient, we get to hear from you again, and we hope to have you back at the club in person to give a little presentation on what you're doing in school and how things are shaping up for you.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
So AJ, that is those are our scholarship recipients for this year. Congratulations to all of you. It's been an amazing pleasure getting to know you. And again, we just cannot wait to see and learn all of the things you're going to accomplish in your lives. So congratulations.
Congratulations, you guys. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm not sure if there's anybody else out there in the club that has questions for our scholarship winners. I know it's an exciting adventure. I'm really curious to know how the adjustment into the COVID world outside of Humboldt counties, what that's going to look like. But I'm sure you just kind of take it in stride and kind of make your adjustments. But does anybody else have any thoughts or questions or well wishes for our students? Thanks, Romy. Well, congratulations, guys. And thanks again for sharing. We love hearing these inspirational stories. We know how much work it takes to get to this point, and then it's just the start of your journey. So I'm really excited to see you return and tell us more about what you've accomplished out in the big world, in the real world. So thank you. Okay. So I'm going to come back to my presentation here. Share my screen. So we heard that Principal Navarre is retiring this year. And Lori, thank you so much for sharing some photos. I love getting some of that history, but I was hoping Dave was going to be able to join us this morning, but I understand. So just wanted to make sure the club knew that, I mean, I guess Dave has always been part of this process since I've been part of the club, and I think Jen, you were saying 9 years as principal and like 33 years in the district. And so dedicated educator, and it was amazing to work with him. I know a few of you, Dustin, I think you've worked with him fairly closely, just worked closely with him over the years and have formed a relationship. And I think we've even made attempts to have him join as a member of our club, but to no avail at the moment, but maybe he has some extra time now that he's retired to be able to be part of this amazing club. But I don't know if any of you have anything to share about your experiences with Dave.
Yeah. What Jen was saying, we're going to give him a couple of weeks to kind of settle in, and then we're going to go after the Rotarian angle and get him in the club. So, but I just want to say Dave's an amazing guy. He's a good family friend, and his sons are friends with my younger brother and whatnot. And so it's been amazing to see this guy go through, and it's awesome that he's retired. Him and Stacy couldn't be more great people. And so anyway, this tribute's amazing for him. So.
Thank you.
When I was president, I got a chance to get to know him some through the 10% program like today. And I was so impressed that he was highly dedicated and really smart. I think he must have been a truly outstanding administrator.
Thank you, Howard.
You couldn't have the Interact program at Arcata High be as successful as it is without Dave. So it's because he supports us so much that it allows us to do so much with those kids.
It's huge. Huge.
When I was imagine how difficult a job that is, and Dave really always made it look easy and had a smile on his face, and that says a lot for someone to be in that kind of a position and do it with such grace.
I met Dave when I was doing my student teaching at Arcata High, even though he was a teacher at McKinleyville High. And he just has a genuine love for his students that, and he loves having fun too. And it's just been refreshing to have him as the principal at Arcata High. Done a great job.
Yeah, I could not have imagined being the principal of a school during this time. To immediately have been put in the situation, but looks like you did an amazing job at graduation. I've seen all those photos. Anybody else have anything to say? How about the students? No. Put you on the spot. Well, thank you, Lord.
Students that didn't spend much time in the principal's office.
That's good. Well, a huge thank you to Dave. Yeah, he's definitely should be a member of this club, but has definitely carried a tradition on, and I've been a partner in helping grow Rotary in the community. So the Interact Club at Arcata High gets recognized regularly at the district level as being one of the most robust, and I don't think we would have been able to do it without his partnership. So thank you.